If you're thinking about getting started in real estate wholesaling or investing, there are literally thousands of courses that you can find on the internet to get you started. And there are some good courses, there's some shitty courses, and there's some great courses. And Tax Delinquent Blueprint is a great course. It is, in my opinion, it's an outstanding course. Not just because of the quality of the content, but also because of the strategy, right? A lot of people teach wholesaling and a lot of people teach investing, and they teach you the same strategies that everybody has taught, right? The same old thing that everybody's always doing. So you're no different. But the Tax Delinquent Blueprint is a strategy that when you do it, you get people reaching out to you. You do a little marketing, and then people reach out to you asking you for your help. And an incoming call from somebody that wants your help is a whole lot different than an outbound call where you're begging for somebody to sell you their house. It's completely different. Also, the Tax Delinquent Blueprint has tremendous support from the course creators, from the community. People are there to guide you, answer your questions, and if you want, JV with you, right? On your first deal, on your 10th deal, on your 100th deal. So it's not like a lot of courses where you buy it and you're just on your own. So today I interviewed Tiffany, and Tiffany is a student of the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, and she's been a student for a long time, and she's had tremendous success. She's a leader in the community. And I reached out to her and said, hey, can I just spend a few minutes with you so you can tell others about your success with this program and the strategy? And she was kind enough to do it with me. And right now, I'm going to let you watch that interview. If you decide to move forward with the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, I have a link below this video where you can opt in and join. And I wish you great success on your journey. And I think you're going to love this interview. Okay, here we go. Hey, Tiffany, thank you for doing this. Thank you for joining me today. And I had, to lay this out, I had somebody email me talking about joining courses for real estate wholesaling and just asking, like, how do you judge if a course is good or not? And he was talking about, that coaches don't usually say like what their failure rate is in a course. And I replied back to him. I said, so many people buy courses and don't take action that, it's more important to talk to somebody that does take action and say, what was different for, with this course or with this thing than other things that you tried. So I want to get into that when talking to you today. But let's start off by just, tell me what your background was before you did the Tax Delinquent Blueprint. What were you in real estate, or what were you doing before this?
Sure. So before real estate, we had a construction company. I had a concrete company for years. It was a family-owned business. So I basically, all I knew about was construction. Never had any interest whatsoever in real estate, nothing. And my husband, who got his license straight out of high school, so he's been licensed and is a broker now since '92. So he's always been in real estate, doing his own investing and things like that. So what happened is back in 2008, we all know what happened then, the crash.
Yeah, I do very well. Yeah.
So we had a lot on our plates. So we just had twins. We were my husband was in real estate. I was in construction, two of the biggest industries that crashed. So we lost a lot of stuff during that time. And after that, around 2009, my husband decided he was going to go into one of the courses. He bought into it. He spent a lot of money. It was about $40,000, him and a partner. And he wanted to try that route of investing. I was 100% against it. I said, I don't want to do this. I don't see it working. It doesn't work. When I'm telling you defiant, I was defiant. And so he went to one of our local real estate investor clubs here after he already did this course and nothing happened. And we sat down with somebody he sat down with somebody and he calls me. He goes, I really think you need to come and talk to them. I said, I really don't want to. I want nothing to do with real estate investing. I mean, I don't know how I can stress that enough. And he's like, just do it. Just come and sit. So I went and sat with them. And ever since then, my passion just exploded. I saw how investing works, how wholesaling works. I saw how quickly I was able to basically save everything. So, we were on the verge during that time, losing our house, losing everything. And I was able to use the wholesaling and investing to save everything. So from then on, I knew my passion was trying to figure this out, helping others in situations. And now to this day, I was able to come up with different solutions and different ideas using a program that I had bought into, that I truly believed, and it has changed everything, my whole outlook on everything.
And how long have you been doing it now?
Investing itself?
Investing, and then how long have you been doing the Tax Delinquent Blueprint?
So the tax delinquent, I think I've been doing about 4.5 years now for the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, and it literally has changed the idea of how wholesaling works and how you can truly help people. So for me, the satisfaction, yes, it is a business. Yes, we make money, but it also is a satisfaction of being able to help these homeowners restructure and save their house. So it is just truly a satisfaction that I receive, gratitude.
I think that's, I've been doing this for 10 years, helping wholesalers. And I think it's such a big thing on a lot of wholesalers' mind because, there's people that talk bad about wholesaling, of course, certain realtors and things. And a lot of new wholesalers think, they have this mental or this moral dilemma, like they're taking advantage of somebody. Like, oh, I'm talking them to selling their house cheap so I can turn around and resell it and make money on it. And one that's, you want it to make it a win-win situation, right? You're looking for people that have a problem and you can help them solve that problem. So can you talk to that a little bit, like to new wholesalers that are struggling with that dilemma, that you can make this a win-win for both people involved?
You can definitely make this a win-win. It's all about your approach. So one of the biggest things I always tell people is you have to create that relationship. You have to have that relationship. They have to understand you're not there to steal anything from them, take anything from them. You're truly there to help them. And when they understand that, things work a little bit smoother and easier. They may not be ready right then when you approach them, but it's always in the follow-up, right? I tell everybody as well, the money is in the follow-up. You have to stay in contact with these potential sellers, these homeowners, because they're going to need help. They're going to run out of options. I always tell them as well, when I'm speaking to a homeowner, I'm like, listen, I want you to extinguish all of your options before it gets to me. I want you to try everything, family, friends, grants, whatever it is. I need you to try every little thing before it gets to me, because I'm going to help you. I'm going to restructure you. I'm going to do things. And that's what I try to teach other wholesalers coming in, or investors trying to do flips, or whatever the case may be. I try to structure them to say, this is how you need to do it. You have to have compassion. You have to understand. You have to be sympathetic, and you have to solve their problem, because they're in this position because they have a problem. And it's the conversations that you have with the homeowner to figure out what that problem is. So the other thing I always teach is, I'm like, you are a therapist. Sorry for the background noise.
That's okay.
You are.
He's excited today.
Yeah, she's not happy. So I try to tell them, you have to listen. When you listen to the homeowner, they're gonna tell you what their pain is, and when you find that pain, that's what we work on, and that's what we try to fix.
Right. I think that, back in my early sales career, that's really what made me turn the corner from just a salesman, I believe, to a good salesman, was when I stopped worried so much about just getting the sale and focusing on how I could benefit the person I was working with. And if I just focused on that, like what can I do to solve your problems? That's when I started making 10 times the money. Right? You've just got to position yourself to say, how can we help you, and really truly make this a business and not just a hustle and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Um, when you got the tax delinquent blueprint, you were wholesaling before you got the delinquent blueprint, right?
Wholesaling, rehabbing, I was doing it all.
Okay, so tell me about like when you invested in this, because the tax delinquent blueprint, $1,500, right? And a lot of people look at something like that and go, that's a lot of money. But like you mentioned, your husband had spent previously 40 grand on something. And I've heard that story a lot. I've heard about people going out and dumping all this money on something, refinancing their house and paying for these programs and all that, and getting like zero results from it. So talk about like the for the $1,500 for the tax delinquent blueprint, the value you received out of that, and how quickly you saw a return on that investment.
It's I don't know how to explain how powerful this program is. I can't stress it enough that the people that we're helping need help. They're at their end. So for this program, the way that it's structured, it's so genius. And when they receive these letters or calls, they see it and they call you. You don't have to track anybody down. They're physically calling you by what you're sending them, because you're giving them the hope that there is a way out of this. There is a way to save your home. This program is just, it's just crazy. It's just so strong and powerful. As long as you know what to say, what to do, what to send, it's going to be instant satisfaction. The phone will ring instantly. As soon as you send out, your first, let's say, mailers, your first set, you're going to get calls. I can honestly say I cherry pick mine. I know what I'm specifically looking for when I send out my stuff. So I know out of, let's say, my 20 mailers, that's all I send a month, my 20 mailers, I know I'm going to get at least 10 calls. Okay. So I know the system works. You just have to trust it and you have to believe in it. Now it is a roller coaster, right? You have your ups and downs and all around. And I always tell everybody, I'm like, you need a cheerleader on your side, because you're going to be really high. Yes, yes, yes. And then something falls apart and you're like, no, 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 no. I mean, it's just really but as long as you stay on the tracks, you will have financial freedom at the end.
I wanted to bring up that point when you talk about marketing and only sending out 20 mailers a month, that, that's one of the things and one of the reasons I promote the Tax Delinquent Blueprint. And I know there's a lot of courses that cost more, right? So this is $1,500, but for me, it's the most expensive course I ever promoted, because I know people coming into the business, a lot of times they're limited on funds, right? So I don't, I usually promote, smaller dollar courses to get them started and all that. But the one thing that really drew me, other than just the quality of the course, to the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, is the amount of money that people in the course or in this program save on marketing costs, right? Because Jason has put together a system where you take the leads that you would normally send to or tax delinquent and filter it down with different criteria. So you get down to just the minute list of people that are the most likely to take action. So
Correct.
can you go a little bit more in depth into that, just on like how, like, you're spending the money on a course to learn this, but you're going to save so much money on marketing and get such good results from it.
Well, it all depends on which direction you want to go, right? So it depends on your area, your county, your state. Everybody's different. Every state's different. I live in Florida, so I know my state rules are very strict when it comes to tax deeds. So when it gets to the tax deed sale, I know once that happens, they lose their house forever, right? So the list comes out about 2 months prior, maybe 3 months prior to the sale. And those are people that you can actually target because they're out of their options. So it depends on your state, on which direction you truly want to go. But this program shows you, what each state has. If it's a tax lien, tax certificate, tax deed, are they both? Are they nothing? It gives you everything in whole. So depending on how you want to target, do you want to target houses, condos, land, mobile homes, whatever it is, commercial, it's all in here. So it just depends on what you're physically wanting to do. And then once you get into the program, you kind of feel it out. You can figure out what niche works best for you.
Right. Yeah. And I'd like to point out too that Jason, he's so, I don't know how to put it. I'm completely unorganized. It's something I've struggled with my whole life. And Jason Palser is so incredibly detailed. And when he lays something out like the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, or he's got this 2-day blueprint that he does, it's like he thinks of everything and like lays it out. Like, so whatever question you have, it's answered, right?
It's answered. And then if it's not answered there, everybody is accessible. So that is what is another key thing. Like, all of us are accessible. If you had a question, all you have to do is send us a message, send us a text. Almost everybody has our cell phone numbers. So it's you always will have that accountability, or if anything, or that teaching aspect of it. We're all here for you if you get lost, to lead them down the right way. And with the Tax Lien Blueprint, there actually is a blueprint to follow. It's a mind map, and it's just, there's just so much information on there that it overwhelms. So and we help you break it down to be able to understand it a little bit more, because it is a lot of information. But we do start you off, and take it piece by piece and baby step you to where you need to be.
He loves his mind maps.
Oh, he does. Right. That mind map is like his brain. I can't make heads or tails of it. So it's just out there.
What's nice too is, because I've joined a lot of, bought into a lot of courses and online marketing and wholesaling and different things. And they'll always, promote like, oh, we have a, like a private community or Facebook community or whatever. And then you get in there and nothing's happening in there. But what I really like about the Tax Delinquent Blueprint Facebook group is, like, if you get in there and ask a question, like, they're responding to you, other people are responding to you. So it's not like this dormant group that you get into. There's actually, like, if you ask something, people will respond, and there is that support. That's very nice, right?
Yeah. And then we also will help you get to the finish line. So if you're getting the calls and you get stuck, this is very, very important, which a lot of people don't offer in their courses, is we are actually helping you get to that finish line, whether it's us taking it to there, and you can listen in on a 3-way call, but you will be able to see it all the way through, so you can start learning on that process. Because to throw somebody in cold is very hard to do. If they're not comfortable on the phone, everybody has a fear of rejection.
Sure, yeah.
Getting them over that fear of rejection to get them to where they need to be. Because that's the first thing. I mean, I suffered from it when I first started. I mean, I got called all kinds of names when I first started off in this business, that you have to just get that thick skin. And these people don't know you. They're in problems. They're in, issues. You can't take what they say to heart.
Sure.
So, that's a very important part of this that people have to understand and overcome.
It's like, it's very similar to the probate niche, right? You if you're going to specialize in tax delinquent or probate, especially, but even, wholesaling as a whole, you have to learn your niche and you have to learn that approach, right? Because sometimes you have to approach, easily, right? So you're not offending them, because if somebody's losing their house in foreclosure, they're not happy about that, right? So you
I
can't
know.
just go, hey, let me buy your house, like no big deal, right? They're like, you know what? I want to be mad at somebody, so I might be mad at you, right? So you kind of
Right.
have to
That's where the
handle it.
therapy comes into session, right? So you just let them vent, let them get it all out of it. I'm tired of everybody calling me, telling me they're gonna buy my house. I don't want to sell my house, my family house. So we have to sit and listen to them. Just let them get it all out.
Yeah.
And then we have to have that nice monotone voice, and then redirect them to where, how can we help you? All right, well, so
I
that's
talked,
what
I
we're teaching.
talked to a good friend about that just the other day. I said that, a lot, like years ago, like when I was young, I lost a house in foreclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that when you're in that situation, you just want to stick your head in the sand. You don't want to talk to anybody about it. You don't want to talk to the bank. You don't want to talk to your family. You don't want to, you're not going to brag to your family and friends, oh, I'm losing my house, right?
Right,
You don't even want to talk to your spouse about it, because every time it comes up, there's like this big fight ensues, right?
right,
So often when you approach somebody in a situation like that, you are the one person that they do unload on, right?
right,
Because they haven't been able to say it to anybody else. And they feel like this person, because they deal with this, they probably know what I'm going through. So I'm going to dump on them all these things that I've got bottled up inside,
right. You're
right?
exactly right.
So I'm sure you've experienced that.
Oh,
So
yes, yes. I mean, listen, when I was going through it myself, when I was able to save my house, I mean, that alone is like, that's why I think the passion came so strong, is that we were literally 2 weeks from losing our house.
yeah,
And I had to come up with an enormous amount of money, like enormous amount. And because of these wholesaling different programs, I saved it like 2 weeks before. So that, I think, gave me my strength and my passion for what I do. And that's why I want to teach it to others. And then when people are going through a similar situation on the other end, I can feel their sympathy. I can feel it for them. I can have that compassion because I've been there.
yeah.
I think that's an important piece, is you have to take whatever pain you have, and then you have to have it and connect it with that other end. And that it will come through on the phone, in relationship, and it will build that bond with that seller.
Yeah, I think we've all been, not necessarily foreclosure, but we've all been through something bad in our life, and just kind of remembering how you felt when you were going through that, right? If you've
Right.
lost a family member, or you've lost a job, or you got divorced, right? Remember the pain that you were going through, and try to keep that in mind when you're talking to somebody going through something like this, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, couple more things I want to ask you about, and then I won't keep you too long. But a lot of people getting into real estate, getting into wholesaling, they, like we touched on it, or you touched on it, like you have a bunch of stumbling blocks, right? The fear of taking action, the being the imposter syndrome, the shiny object syndrome, and all that stuff. Do you think that if somebody buys the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, starts going through it, is it, you know, are they able to replicate this if they just follow the program, or does it take something extra to make it work?
It takes nothing extra. You literally, it's laid out for you. Like it is, it's so simple to follow. It is all laid out. All you're basically doing is putting the correct information of the seller, your information, your phone number, and call it a day. You truly don't need to the only money you really need to do is your mailers. You can do everything at home on your computer, 2 hours a day, if that. You can do Google Line. Like there's things that you can do free. All you have to do is just trust the system, and it works.
And how much would you say the average person could get by spending on marketing every month on their mail to send out?
It depends on how much you want to mail. Again, I mean, some people will send out 500, 1,000 letters. I personally do not do that. I've never done that. So it all depends on really what you can afford. If you can only afford 50 mailers a month, then you do 50 mailers a month. You don't have to do anything more. You have to do what you can afford.
So this isn't a program somebody's going to buy into, and then they're going to say, okay, now you got to spend $3,000 a month
No.
doing Google ads and sending mail and doing
Oh
all
gosh,
this
no.
stuff.
I don't do Google. I don't do any of the above. I never have. So don't get me wrong. There will be things that are offered. And if you want
Sure.
to go that route, no problem. Have at it. Do you have to go that route? You do not.
Yeah.
You just have to follow the system, and we are your accountability. We will lead you through we will take you through it.
I tell people that with wholesaling all the time because they get into, groups or coaching programs, and they start pushing a lot of products on them. And I promote products. So I'm not going to say, anything bad about that because people look for products and want CRMs and all that.
Mhm.
But I tell somebody brand new to the industry that, like, you don't need that stuff. I mean, it comes in handy a lot of times, but it's like, you don't, if you haven't done any deals, then I don't know that you should be spending $150 a month on a CRM.
Right.
Right.
You
It's
don't
like,
need it. When I first started, I used Google Sheets.
there you go. Right.
I mean,
That's what I did. I put all my buyers in like as a Google contact and had them in a group. Right. I didn't have a CRM, and I still really don't use one. So, you know, you
I,
don't need that stuff.
it all depends on the person behind, right? Because we all have different ways we like to do things. I'm a very scattered but organized, if that makes any sense. It's like I'm all over the place, but I know exactly.
Organized chaos.
Yes, that's me. Even on my computer, like everything is everywhere, but I know where it is. Like, I have boards all over my walls, so I know what's what where. But it all depends on you, on what you want to do. But again, you don't have to spend a lot of money. It's just, you don't have to. But the course is where the money is to be made.
Right. Okay, so get the course and just suck it up and follow the steps, and that's all.
I'm usually very involved in it. You have, the Jason's there. You have Mike. There's an Eddie. We are all there to be your accountability. We're there to guide you, to help you. You'll always see us popping into Facebook groups and answering questions the best we can. We have agreements, JV agreements that we do together to get you to the finish line. There's just different things we have and offer to the students to get them to be successful. We want them to be successful.
And that's great too, because a lot of people reach out to me in different markets all over the country and say, hey, David, can you JV with me? And it's not something that I actively do. I don't JV with people like some like coaches out there doing things like that. But it's great being in the group, because I think there's a lot of people in the group that would JV with you, right? So if somebody responds to your marketing, right, and then you get those those butterflies or that pit in your stomach, oh my God, I got to talk to somebody, I got to do all this stuff. That there's other people there that will say, hey, I'll partner with you and we'll walk through this together, and you can do that 1 time, 5 times, 100 times, and people will be there to do that with you, right? So you're not doing it. It's not like you buy a course and then it's like, good luck, right? You've got that support system.
Right. Because once you get it under contract, all right, now what? Right. So, you get like, okay, cool, I got this. Now what do I do? So we help you get to that next level. Right. So and then once the student is there and they get their first closing, they get it. Leading up to that first closing, it's a little stressful. It's a little, like I said, it's like this continuously, a roller coaster. But once we get them there, it's more of like, oh, I see it now. Like they see the light.
Yeah, and after the first one, it clicks. You're like, oh man, that wasn't nearly as horrible as I made it out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Average, these deals are, these wholesale deals are a minimum right now of, we make sure it's a minimum of 20,000. Yeah. Right. So that's not a bad little, for a $1,500 course, you're making your money back instantly.
Yeah. So, and I was going to touch on that. I mean, like if you get in here and really and follow this and not just buy something and go, oh, it didn't work because I didn't take action on it. But if you buy this and take action, that you make that back the very first one. It's paid for itself, but times 10. Right. It's
it's as successful as you want to be is what you want to do, right? So
Right.
if you want to put all in and you're like, I'm in this and I'm going to put all these hours, you're going to see it. You're going to see it at the end. If
Yeah.
you put 2 hours, you're still going to see it at the end. I mean, I have dealt with people who have had full-time jobs and they're like, they quit. They're like, I'm done. I'm just doing this full time because you are able to make more doing this than you are in your regular 9 to 5 job.
Absolutely.
And you'll have fun doing it and you're
Yeah,
helping
and
people.
and when you're doing something like you're doing, where you're helping people, like with, especially with tax delinquent, or like I said, probate, you're really helping somebody through a really bad time. So it's you get some, you get some pride out of doing it, right? I've helped people, and that makes you feel good, right?
It
So
does.
I think that's always a benefit. Lastly, Tiffany, like if you were to give advice to anybody just sitting on the fence about buying the Tax Delinquent Blueprint or wholesaling in general, what would be your over, you're just
Do it.
your advice to everybody?
Just do it. Don't be fear. Don't be scared, fearless. Just do it. I don't, if you have it in you and you have always had that that feeling inside where you're like, I really like this. I really like real estate. I like wholesaling. I like how this is done. And you like to help people, do it. I don't know how to stress it enough that, I mean, it's changed my life. It's changed my, the other end, my sellers' lives. I just can't stress it enough how powerful this program is. Whether you do the tax delinquent or you do the 2 day, either one, super powerful. And I mean, Jason has done a spectacular job putting this program together. I mean, he hit everything. And I can't stress it enough that if you ever had a thought, you need to jump on it.
Yeah, I agree. And, Jason had invited me several years ago to come sit through one of his, in-person live events, the 2 day blueprint. And that's when I started promoting this. I thought, this is for real. There's a lot of coaches out there that put together, programs just to sell a program, and they sell it to you and then they're gone and then you're stuck. But when I saw what Jason put together, I thought, this is something that I can wholeheartedly recommend to people and feel good about it. So, and I think you've had the same experience. So.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm telling you, the responses from the people that I've helped are so like they're so genuine. They're so thankful. Everybody's like, you're like an angel sent down. Like, I don't know where this came from because they ran out of all options. I mean, they have extinguished everything. So when we come in and we're able to help them, they just don't even know how to say thank you enough. Like, I still get text messages from different clients that I've helped and they're just like, thank you so much. You've helped me. You're an angel. I mean, it's just so satisfying, the gratitude that these people have for us. It's just amazing.
It's an amazing feeling too when you have people reach back out, right? long after it happened, and said, I just want to thank you again
Yeah,
for
they
what
keep
you did for
I
me.
mean, I had them keep my mailers. I had one guy call me 4 years. He goes, I had this letter for 4 years and he came into problems and we helped them. So they definitely save it. I had one lady take a picture of my letter and she saved it in her phone and she called me 3 or 4 months after. So the everything that is put together in this program is just so perfect and amazing. And when the clients read it, they reach out for help because they need help. And we're there to give them the help and we provide options for them. It's just not I'm going to buy your house and you move on. No, we create different packages for them to help them. We're almost like an a la carte kind of situation. So we can kind of pick and choose what we want to do. And that's what this program is going to teach you, how to do that a la carte and put different deals together, because not every deal is the same. Every one you do is going to be different.
Yeah, it's an incredible program, and it's why I push it. And I think you said it perfectly, all of it. So
I love it.
yeah,
I mean, when I talk about it, like the passion comes out of me
yeah,
of how much I love doing this. And when I'm able to help somebody, and they appreciate it, that just makes me happy. It really does.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep you. I want to thank you so much for doing this today.
Thank you.
I hope you have an incredible 2025.
You as well.
And I hope people watch this and really really take advantage of the Tax Delinquent Blueprint. And I hope they get to connect with you in the group because you are a terrific person.
I appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions, I'm always email, message away. So I'm here.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're here today to present this house to our client who we were able to assist through the tax delinquency program. She was about to lose her home due to her delinquent taxes. We were able to come in, remodel, and now we're able to present a brand new house for her. As we were able to help our client, we were able to provide her with a new kitchen, new appliances, new bathrooms, new flooring, landscaping. We were able to take care of her liens and violations. I do this to help people who deserve that second chance. Everybody deserves that second chance. This is a way of me giving back to those who do deserve it. She works hard. She works 3 different jobs. She provides for her family, a very large family. She provides for them. She's the only one who does. Right now we're about 2 months in, so we were able to help the client purchase the property. We were able to handle this within 3 weeks. Hi, I'm Tiffany with American Dream Homes, Florida Tax Care. I'm here with Cece, our client who we reached out to, and she reached back to us, and we are here today to present the house back to her, all completely updated and ready to go for her and her family. This is Cece, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit how we're here.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Cece. I am a registered nurse. I'm a director of nursing. We're at my place of employment, and I'm a single mother of 4 kids, 3 grandchildren, and I owned my home for a long time and living in South Florida with the heat and the hurricanes. Got a lot of damage over the years, but I was unable to get some work done, didn't know how to find the right people, Google, whatever, so I received a lot of letters in the mail. I would ignore most of them. Found this one letter came in the mail. I opened it, took a picture of it, and threw it in the trash. And about 3 or 4 weeks later, I was laying in my bed, deleting some photos out of my phone, and I ran across the letter. And it was after 5 o'clock. I figured I would call and leave a voicemail, and I got a beautiful angel on the phone, and I explained my situation. And she, oh God, here I go. And she explained the different options that were available to me being a homeowner. She introduced me to Tiffany because I don't trust easily. And she walked me through every process. She let me know when there were bumps in the road. She let me know what to expect. She let me know it wasn't going to be an easy road, but she was always open and honest and upfront with me, which is what I respect the most. I think you should change the name of your company to God's Angels.
Ready? Let's do this inside. Ready?
All right, here she is entering for the first time. So we literally just finished. This is our new furniture.
Oh my gosh.
The kitchen with corks.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Can't wait to bring her grandkids. The best.
All right, there's her new keys to her new home.
Thank you so much, and thank you. Thank you for being you. Because you were the catalyst. I probably would have never called back and was on the phone. You were the one.
And I'm Tiffany, American Dreams Homes, Florida Tax Care. This is Chauncey, who's our property manager.
Our goal is to reach out to as many people in South Florida and across the United States to find a solution so that they know that they don't have to lose their home and that they can have a nice place to live and that there are people out there still fighting for them.